Welcome back to the Daily Lift. In this life as Christians, it is absolutely a struggle, sometimes more often than others, but we will have times in our life where we have to make hard decisions and we have to stand up for what is right. And we may be put in positions or given certain blessings that we can help deliver other people from their sufferings as well. One story that I'm reminded of and I am encouraged by is the story of Esther. And I especially love the historical accounts because we get a great cross section of human nature. We see how God interacts with his people, what he wants from us, and what pleases him and what displeases him. And so we have Esther here in the book of Esther, who is the queen of Persia, and they are facing her people, the Jews, the Hebrews. They're facing annihilation by the Persians because of this altercation that Esther's cousin has with this higher ranking official named Haman. And so there was a law passed that in a certain day that was coming up, that all of the Persians were allowed to, it was legal for them to slaughter any Jews in their land. And so Mordecai comes to Esther and he says to her some encouraging words, because the problem was that Esther was afraid that she would lose her life by going before the king without being summoned. And she hadn't been summoned in over a month. And so she didn't want to risk her own life. But Mordecai said something to her that really strikes a chord with me, and it did with her as well. And so Mordecai says in Esther chapter 4, verse 16, "For if you remain completely silent and at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place. But you and your father's house will perish. Yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this." And I try to remember this when I'm facing hard things, especially hard decisions as a Christian that are affecting my spiritual walk. Because who knows whether these things that I'm facing now is for this specific reason? Who knows whether or not I am the one that can help deliver somebody else or many people? Because we know what James says. At the end of James chapter 5, it says that confessing your trespasses to others and those who pray for you, that can cover a multitude of sins. And so I want to encourage you this morning today, that when you're facing trials, when you're facing temptations, when you're facing hard problems and hard decisions, remember Esther. Remember the commitment, the fortitude that she had to stand up for what was right. And what she asked Mordecai to do, and all the people in Shushan, the area that they lived in, was to fast for 3 days, to pray, and that she was going to do the same. And then, as the story goes, she enters into the palace, she is granted favor, and the wicked Haman gets what he deserves later on. I encourage you to read the story of Esther when you get a chance. But I want to leave you with this encouragement. Who knows whether you have been put in the kingdom for such a time as this? And as always, go lift someone up.